Open. Yeah. Hi, people. Are we live? Yeah, we're live.
Yo.
Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm opening a mason jar.
I can't put my jar open.
What's in the mason jar, Tommy?
Well, let's put it this way. If you take a sniff of it,
Welcome to the
it'll
toughest
burn
challenge of your life.
It'll burn the hair in your nose.
Wait, that might be me.
Oh, that.
You don't? Okay, anyway. Welcome to Let's Chat.
The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead chat. Last night, the name of the episode was Last Day on Earth. So, fellas and moms, how did y'all feel about the episode last night?
I can't believe we got to wait till October to see who died.
Yeah, that's gonna.
I don't even think they know who died.
Yeah.
I still say it's going to be Glenn, but
I
I've
kind of
heard
think it might be Eugene.
yeah, the way that they're like talking about him is like even Eugene gave Rick the instructions on how to make ammunition.
yeah, but why would you kill off Eugene? I mean, he's just so cool.
What's in that?
You mean Daryl?
No, not Daryl.
You mean Abraham?
Who
Abraham or you?
are you talking to, Tommy?
Logan is here drinking from his mason jar and discussing the show with me as
No.
Oh.
he
All
had.
right, so I'm going to try to pretend to be Miles, and it's not going to go very well, I'm sure. Because Miles is not going to join us tonight. She has a prior engagement.
Yeah,
I can't believe she's abandoning us.
She had come,
Naughty toes.
and she's supposed to tell him to leave that this is the Walking Dead chat night, but apparently they're more important than us tonight.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, choosing her friend. I don't know if I'd kill for her anymore.
What kind of person is she?
Okay, so we know that we don't have Carol or Morgan or Glenn or Rosita, Michonne, and Daryl. They're all out of the compound now and caught. Pretty much caught, not Carol, but not Carol or Morgan. But we know that the Saviors have already got Glenn, Rosita, Michonne, and Daryl. Okay, so the opening thing shows somebody looking out a darkened room. It took me until almost 3/4 of the way into it to realize it was Daryl and Glenn talking, and that's when I was positive who it was. But then it goes into Morgan walking through that field, and he comes upon a sign that says "You are alive." And did anybody notice, or was it just the way I was seeing it? Was that the Loch Ness Monster down there on the bottom of that sign? Did anybody else catch that?
I didn't catch that.
No. Maybe it was just a scribble type of thing just to see if it's working or not.
Okay, now Morgan finds that horse, and they said on one of the junkets on The Talking Dead that was like the first time that he had ever ridden a horse, and that was on his bucket list.
Yeah.
Well, bucket list fulfilled.
I can't imagine that being his first time and being able to walk after all that hours of filming.
That was just all. I wonder
Right,
how
and then, yeah, I don't know how long they said that episode with them being out in the woods on their knees was like 15 hours or something like that. That particular part. Okay, and the next we see Carol Stalker following her, holding that rosary in his hand, and he's following the horse prints in the ground. So she must be following the horse.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder why.
Like, I wonder if he just went around. It's like he got tired of trying to find Carol, and just went back and then saw Morgan, and then started following Morgan.
Oh, I didn't. I thought Morgan stayed to the roads.
Maybe. It didn't really just say
I
that he went stayed on the roads, but I don't see. I thought that was hoof prints in the motive.
Yeah, it was. Wouldn't it be? Wouldn't he be ahead of Morgan though? Because
Yeah.
he followed Carol from right after she did that, right after last episode where she took out all those saviors.
Or wait, they didn't that one savior find Carol right after she left again? She left Morgan in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's how the savior found Carol instead. Like I think maybe he was first following Morgan, and then found Carol.
Hmm.
You know, when they took the night off for her to heal up now,
Hmm.
found her.
Okay, and then we have the flashbacks between Carl and Enid. Is that Enid?
Yeah.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
And then the librarian guy running through the woods all beat up. So that what was going on with Carl was going on with that guy too. They were flashing between both of them. They were really paralleling the two of them. So we see him running through and the whistling. You know, the saviors, that's kind of freaky to me. If I heard people whistling in the woods like that all around me, I'd be a little freaked out.
Kind of remind me of the governor's whistle, but like some type of mix of it.
Maybe that's a sign of everybody that's evil in The Walking Dead whistling.
Yeah.
That's their buddy call, you know. So if they're near each other, they know that they're evil, so don't mess with them.
Well, they
Even
probably
the
picked up
ones-
some of the governor people. That's probably an indication that some of the governor's people came there. You think?
Say, I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, that's like out of state as well, so I don't think they would go that far just to get the saviors hurt. We still don't know all the compounds that the saviors have, so it could be near Georgia as well.
But we definitely know that's the savior's whistling tactic because Dwight used it on Glenn and Michonne.
Yeah,
So we know that those are the saviors chasing him.
I think it's just a way to get their attention, and then by the last scene, it was just to like see how much saviors there are.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tommy.
I just said that was a lot of saviors.
Yeah. All right, and so we see that Carl and Enid are arguing, and he doesn't want her to go. He wants her to stay just so that she can be more safe, but not. I mean, they're still expecting an attack there.
Yeah.
So he tricked. Just when you think that she won the argument, he tricked her and locked her into the closet. And then you realize how much that they mean to each other whenever she said that, you know, what she's supposed to do. How would I survive if you don't survive? And she realizes that he's going out after revenge. He's not going out after, like to be Maggie's nursemaid. He's going out to try to go after the saviors. And I think at this point none of them realize how organized and the massive numbers that the saviors have.
I don't know. I don't think the saviors are that organized. I just think there's that many of them. I mean, they kind of organized against Alexandria in this moment, but usually they don't. From the way that it was going in the other episodes, it doesn't seem like they're that organized.
Like
Some of the buildings that they had as fallback bunkers had already been raided. The guns were gone. So it doesn't seem to me that they're that organized.
Well, that just tells me that they have a lot of places to go. You know, that if they're not concerned about clearing the building, that they have other places that they can retreat to. And for them to be able to use heavy machinery to get that one roadblock up, they have to be organized. You know, for them to go from one place to another along Rick's route, you know, there's communication there. You know, they had a plan set for each stop that they went to. Yeah, I think they're really organized. You know, they might be crazy in how they do things, like we saw with the two women or the three women that Carol and Maggie were captured by. Like, they're just totally insane, but you know, they're organized and they get things done.
And then they like the way they planned out stuff as well. It's like even on the where to go to pick them up or trade with the girl saviors and the one guy that.
Is this the first time that we're seeing the librarians?
Yes.
Yeah.
You only seen the librarian because they were trying to make to show how brutal the saviors really were.
Mm-hmm.
And did you notice what he was telling?
Go ahead. I was about to hit on this too, Tommy. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to hit on the part that they were talking about that they hung the first dude that shot at them. And then when Morgan and all of them showed up, they wound up where them people were staying. They were at that library.
What library?
The guy that they hung him from that tower.
Yeah.
So when Morgan crawled up and cut that dude down, that's the dude who shot at the saviors. That was
yeah. Did you notice that they said they only hung the guy that shot at them first as an example? And I thought that might be a clue to who was going to die, because Daryl is the one that shot first in our group. You know, whenever he shot that rocket launcher at him.
Yeah, but there was nobody to actually tell him that Daryl's the one that killed him, because he killed them all.
Yeah, but there was that, I don't know if it was a filming mistake, but there was that truck in the background.
And they seen Rick beat up Chico, whatever his name is. I can't remember his name. What do you call that dude?
Primo? The one that Rick thought it was Negan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Primo.
Yeah, but he didn't tell anybody because Rick ended up shooting him at the end.
Well, they could have.
They could have been a couple more people sitting out there watching.
I think they just put two and two together. It's like kind of an example. Even Carol mentioned that that they killed the people because they're like trying to self-defense something.
I don't know. It's a really weird, slow weapon.
Yeah. But it's still kind of it's slow, but it builds up. Even the saviors, like first it was just a couple people and a couple cars, and then I think it wasn't just a big giant group of saviors and then the wall, or was it the wall and then the big giant group?
First it started with 8 men, then it went up to 15 or 16, then it was the Red Rover zombie chain, and then it was the burning logs.
Yeah.
So it kept doubling every time, like from 8 to 16, and then, you know, I don't know how many people were in the woods, but they were obviously hurting them because they had ample time to kill them and were just shooting at the ground.
Yeah. I thought about the terminus type thing when they were kind of like in a valley, so they were just crowding them to go into a place, like a mousetrap type of game. You just go into what the terminus did. Don't you think, Tommy?
I don't know. I didn't really pay any attention to compare it with the Terminus because I was honestly trying hard to watch it,
Yeah.
but it was, to me, it was just boring until the Morgan and Carol spots, and then the very last 3 to 10 minutes when Hulu showed up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they were hurting them. I mean, I just can't figure out. Apparently, they had somebody watching them, even when they didn't think they were watching them, because they knew they were in the woods.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back. We know that that Carl doesn't, or Rick doesn't want Eugene to go, but Eugene says that he'll be his anchor man and man up. So we know that we have Abraham and Sasha, Eugene, and Abraham and Sasha said that they're like a done deal. They're wherever he goes, she goes. Wherever she goes, he goes. So we know that they're considered each other now a couple. So then there's Abraham, and then Aaron goes, which really surprised me.
Trying to talk him out of going.
Yeah, that he owes, when Carl asked him, why'd you come, and he said, because I owe Maggie. Why does he owe Maggie? Because I didn't get that.
For not shooting him, for trusting him.
When he first met him?
Yeah, when I first met him.
Okay.
Maybe it was also for where she treated his boyfriend. Because remember, his boyfriend had a broke leg, and she treated him to begin with.
And then who else do we have? We have Carl. So we got Carl, Rick, Maggie, Eugene, Aaron, Sasha, and Abraham. So we got 7 people leaving the compound to go out. All right, and then we have Gabe walking up to Rick saying, this is what we're doing. We got these plans in order. If something goes wrong, we got this plan in order, and I will be responsible for Judith. And what y'all think of that? Gabe taking responsibility and manning up.
It seems to me like, once Maggie and Sasha had the prayer with God with him, he kind of found his way.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems odd, but it seems like after they prayed with him, he kind of found who he was and became okay with who he was.
I think he's just trying to regain trust or something like that, or trying to build up for what he'd done in the past. Because he left those people outside of the church.
Yeah.
He's just trying to make good of it and trying to do good.
They found out the boogeyman's kind of slow and simple-minded. So.
And then Spencer saying, hey, Rick, you want us to talk to these people and kind of make a deal with them? And then Rick is, over Spencer at this point and says, yeah, tell him to wait on me. I got to deal with him.
Now, does everybody remember that, more than likely the Saviors are going to come in and try to raid the town, take all the guns and right?
Yeah, I would think at the same time they're probably raiding. So that was, at the first episode, we're probably going to see who died, and they're going to do that parallel, this is what's going on back home.
I think
like
they're going to start out right after.
Well, here's the thing I was thinking of. Now, if you're sitting there watching it, Maggie and Glenn and a couple of the others were sitting there talking about, and they were hiding guns. So even if it's saving
Yeah.
town, it doesn't sound like they're going to get everything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that
but don't you think that was like fallback positions? Like, okay, we're going to start it at the wall, and if they push us back, we can retreat to this place where we have ammo and guns, or we can go back to this place. Don't you think that that's what they were doing? 'Cause that's what I was thinking they were doing. They might be hiding it, but in
No.
strategic locations.
No, I can't see putting it in just one location because that's what, even if it's only switching it up to 2 or 3 different locations. That's what got them in trouble in the first place when the walkers came through. All the guns were in one spot, so I think they hit them throughout the entire town.
Mhm.
Because I got stuck in the prison or in the police station where they built a hotel at now. I have a couple of guns in them.
Yeah, they just put them in trash cans.
Yeah, because most people ain't even going to touch trash cans because they figure it's trash.
Well, the guns were exposed, but I think they're just having those for just holding them in there so you can quickly grab one and shoot at people.
So they may be enough like with Gabriel and everybody. They may kill the raiding party. Who knows?
Mhm.
What if in the beginning of the new episode premiere, it just starts off right after Daryl gets shot, and then it just builds up that momentum again. And I think that's probably how they could restart it instead of just showing who dies.
Yeah, I think they're going to do that too because they're going to have to point it out from somebody else's point of view. Like
Yeah.
right now, how they ended it, it was whoever's getting beat from their point of view. So they're going to have to go back and show what happened with Daryl and Michonne and Glenn. And Sasha's with them too. No, not Sasha.
Rosita.
Rosita. Yeah, they're going to have to show what happens with them.
I think,
And then Eugene getting captured.
oh yeah. I
All
think they
right,
could
so
just do what Daryl was saying. Because they were just doing like the POV when it's like when they first put up the show, and then you can see a couple lights and just kind of hazy. I think they're just gonna do that right before or something like that. So it could be just Daryl's POV.
okay, back in the RV, Rick is trying to comfort Maggie, and one of the things that he said struck me as odd. Well, not odd, but their camaraderie. It's always been all of us. As long as it's all of us, we can do anything. So you know that he's trying to give her hope, and that they're all going to be together, but just the despair of everything that they've been going through. You know that they're losing somebody.
Yeah.
And what about when Morgan rode in and saw Carol in that doorway, like in that archway? I thought she might have been bit, the way she was huddled there. In fact, I didn't even realize it was her until, he called for her.
I think she was just regretting the situation, but she knows she has to do it. Then she just
Were they
oh, good.
were they walkers or were they humans? I
Uh,
think they were walkers. 'Cause I went back and tried to see, but I couldn't tell. One
I
looked
think-
like he had his cheek bit,
yeah, it looked like
but
walking.
I don't.
Maybe it was
see, that's
fresh
what I thought.
ones. I think it was probably just fresh.
I think they were walkers, but they were the ones from that library. So,
I thought that was a school, like a kid's school.
well, the dude that they beat up came from the group, and he just kept sitting back at the library. I think that's what it was supposed to be. It was some kind of a library.
So one of the pictures, like after like Morgan coming in on horseback, it said like kids or something like that. Maybe like might be like a kids library or something like that, but yeah, I don't know. Let's see if I can look it up right now.
Yeah, I didn't catch it, but when the Saviors had that guy on the road, he said something like, "All my people at the library, they're all dead." You know, that he was the only one living, and I think he was just wondering who they were going to make him an example for, and we know that they were making him an example for Rick. I didn't understand that X that they painted on him, unless that was just to prove it was the same guy when they threw him over that bridge.
Could have been
You
that.
got any comment?
Could have been that, or the fact that he had that one of them saviors had an axe. And I figured if Rick and them had stayed around much longer, I figured the guy would have got the axe right in the X.
Or just a place to shoot or aim at.
Yeah. X marks the spot. Shoot him here. Shoot him here.
Yeah. But when they threw him off the bridge or whatever that was, I think that could have been as well. Where to shoot him, or just to make him put him out of his misery.
And then Rick wouldn't let him shoot him down.
Yeah.
We need the bullets.
Well, at that point, they realized how big the Saviors group is, and they knew that they were going to need the bullets. You know, because they said, you know, they used heavy equipment to move those logs there. So they're realizing, you know, there's a heck of a lot of people, more than what we thought.
Yeah.
All right. Trying to do this in order. All right. When Carl asked Aaron, you know, why are you doing this? And he said for Maggie. And then Aaron asked Carl, well, why are you doing this? And he said he owes them. And he doesn't say he owes his group, and he doesn't say that he owes the Saviors. But I think that's what they were indicating, that he was going out for revenge. What do y'all think?
I don't know. I think it might have meant that, you know, he was trying to say that he was doing it for his family, who he counts as his family. I'm doing it for them. I owe them. Because think of what Rick did for him when they were getting ready to head into Terminus, and that one dude was apparently trying to rape him. I mean, he bit a dude ear off. And then he headbutted him, beat him to death. You know, I think he really thinks he owes them all.
I think it's just because Michonne's out there and he's like finds Michonne as a mother or kind of like a mother and sister type of person.
Yeah, but do they know that Michonne's captured yet?
Well,
I don't
she's
think they
not
know
there.
that until. I don't think they realize that until they see the dread on the walker. Because this is the first stop. This is right after the guy's laying in the middle of the road. And then as they're backing up, trying to figure out the map where they're going, that's when that exchange happens between Aaron and Carl.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. But my initial thought was because Michonne's out there and they just need more help getting Maggie there or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and next there's an exchange between Morgan and Carol, and we know the history of Morgan and Carol, and you know they're not seeing eye to eye. Morgan tries to explain to Carol who went after her when she left, you know, and had Daryl known, you know, he would have gone, but he left before, and he says that it was Abraham, and so he names who goes, and then Carol explains to him that she's not just being dramatic; she just can't do it anymore. The whole way through their exchange, she's saying, if you care for people, you're going to have to protect and probably kill for them. And we see Morgan struggling with his dogma the whole way through. Like, Morgan's come around to this way of thinking, that all life is precious, but here's Carol saying, at one point you're going to have to abandon that, and you're going to have to go with, you're going to have to protect somebody that you love. And then we see later on that, he dumped 6 shots into the Carol stalker. So he abandoned that philosophy very quickly. And then Jason, do you think that those 2 guys, like the guy from the barn that he ran into shortly after he killed that Carol stalker, that those are the Whisperers?
No, it might be from the Kingdom with the leader called Ezekiel. Because they're the ones that have body armor and ride horses.
Okay.
And Ezekiel is like they're based in like a elementary school.
But they're kind of friendly because they didn't just go completely off the wall, trying to kill it the first shot. The first dude, he ran off until him and the other dude came back, and they were actually friendly to Morgan.
Yeah. Go
ahead, Jason.
They already are a friendly group. Well, in the comics they are. And I think it's just like because they needed help, they give it to them, and then they give something else to them, kind of like what Dawn did in Atlanta with Beth.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's kind of like that. And it's just the whole community is getting bigger. Let's just show that, I think.
Kind of makes you wonder if they'll partner up with Rick's group to kill the Savior.
No what?
Will they partner up with Rick's group to kill the Savior? Because eventually Rick and them's going to kill the Savior.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a while until Negan will die, because they do, I think in the comics, kind of side with him, like a friend of me almost. There's like this work with him. And then I think even Carl goes with Negan as well. It's like, and then they find the Whisperers after they find the Kingdom.
Carl goes with...
I thought Carl left with the Whisperers. Him and he just joined the Whisperers.
No, Carl and Lydia. Lydia is the daughter of the leaders of the Whisperers. And then Lydia and Carl, I think that like come back to Rick's group or something like that. But Carl goes in between Rick's group and Negan. I haven't really read that far in yet, so I haven't really.
Yeah.
That's just what I heard.
Okay, back to the episode. Mom's in control.
Yeah. We covered Morgan dropping that walker that they strung up. And he goes back out and looks for her and catches up with her. Then we're back on the Winnie, and there's a half tank of gas left, and they're coming up to the roadblock with the Red Rover walker. What do you think about that Red Rover walker chain?
I thought it was really cool.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
And then to let them know that they had their people with Michonne's dread in the one, and Daryl's arrows in the other one. Was there anything else? Because I was really looking for other other
Michonne's
signs that they
best.
had other people.
Michonne's best.
Okay.
It's like she kind of has a sleeveless as well, but it's a brown one. But I don't know if she had it after or what. I didn't really pay attention to after. I was just paying attention to the full brute.
Yeah, I was too.
Yeah.
And did you see after they started shooting? Did you see that shot that Sasha got in? She shot one in the head and it went through 3 of them.
Yeah. I
She
think
dropped 3
she
of them
has
in one shot. That was cool.
I think that was an automatic, and she just lit all of them. But my dad thought it was a one-shot 3-kill thing.
I don't know, man. But in Call of Duty, that would have been an epic no-scope.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just do
and
it.
Rick opened when he took the arm off the girl that had the dread. He grabbed the other walker and got him in the neck, and I was surprised that he didn't drop. And he had to get him in the back of the head with the axe, but that's after he got him off the side of the road. So he pulled probably 3 or 4 walkers that were with him. And then Sasha got the 3, and they were over on the other. And it opened up so that they could go through. But the Saviors were shooting at their feet. They could have killed them right there, but they didn't. So that's when I realized that they were pushing them to a certain point. They're rounding them up.
That moment when he was cutting into the walker's hand, it kind of reminded me of Jesse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, kind of hard moment that he had to probably go through, or just something that went through his mind.
And no, they couldn't kill him, so they were going to hurt him because Rick's group is good. I mean, he's already lost, what, 40 or 50 people out of Negan's group that Rick's group's killed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got to replace them, and who better to replace them with a group that can actually kill his people if they're given the right situation.
Yeah.
Apparently that's
Okay, and the show.
woods, though.
Go ahead, Tommy.
I was just saying, apparently that's not sneaking through the woods.
I think maybe
the
they
show
were.
was jumping around. Go ahead, Jason.
Alright, what'd you say? The show's jumping around.
The show was jumping around because we covered a lot of this stuff where I kind of wrote stuff down and the progression of the show, and we've already hit it. But what was the significance of that rosary that Morgan saw? Was that Carol's rosary, or was that a different one? Because I thought the one that Carol had was black, and the one on the road was brown.
That was Carol, but the other dude,
Yeah.
no.
It was brown, originally brown.
Okay.
Carol's. Like, even on the episode where Daryl got shot, the second to last one, she's just playing with it, of the rosary, and you can see it is brown beads. So it is hers. And then did Morgan pick it up? Or did he leave it?
No, he kept going. Yeah, he kept going.
Yeah.
He was on the horse whenever he saw it. And what about Carol? You know that she's weak because she's got that cut in her side, and she just traps that one walker, and then in the dumpster, and then the stalker gets her, the zombie or the walker, and she's pulling at her flesh. The graphics on this is really cool.
Yeah.
What y'all think of that?
For a moment, I thought Carol's gonna die just like she did in the comics, because in the comics she just lets the walker just bite her neck out, and that's what I was kind of pointing at, trying to get her neck.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that would have been a cool kill.
Oh, yeah.
And then whenever she, realizes that guy is going to try to kill her and do it slowly, she's almost relieved, like, okay, this is it, I'm going to die. And then she tries to goad him in to killing her after he walks away from her.
Yeah.
And then Morgan comes.
Yeah. It's like, I don't need you. That's kind of what she was thinking. But I don't think she wants to live. I think they're probably going that route because she doesn't want to kill for anybody anymore. That's one of the things she was talking to. Was it Morgan or that one savior? So she was talking about she doesn't want to kill for anyone anymore. And the only way to do it is to
Yeah, she said that to Morgan. Yeah. Yeah, and then that just proves when Morgan killed the savior, that proves her point that, if you care for somebody, you're going to have to protect them, and you're going to have to kill for them. And she's just so over that.
like she's killed more than 20 now because if you count all those saviors she killed on the truck, then wasn't that around 4 or 5 people? So it's in the 25 range now.
Yeah, I think there were 5 there, and then
She went over the 20 when she helped kill them in the compound.
I think she was up to 22 because it was significant that woman had killed 22 when she said, she's up to 22 and she just doesn't care anymore. I can't remember what. Oh, her name was Paula.
Yeah, Paula. Well, yeah, and also
Funny me not remember that.
the ones that she put into the kill room, and then to the gasoline in there with the cigarette, and then just lit them up. I forgot about count those as well. So that's probably in the 20-30 range.
Yeah. He should be up close to like 30.
Yeah. Still, that's a lot of people in a short amount of time. That's probably like within a week, you think? That she killed that many people.
Okay, and then the next thing is those 2 guys, the 2 armed guys, show up on a horseback, and then we're back in the Winnebago, and the savior has just said, go to where you're trying to get to. And so then they pull off, and Eugene has a plan, and that's where he gives Rick the instructions on how to make the bullet, told him Abraham knows where to go, and it's basically, I felt at that moment that they're recognizing Eugene for all his accomplishments, and then they're sending him off to die. That's kind of what I thought of that scene. Him taking a Winnebago all by himself.
Yep.
What y'all think?
Here's the thing I was thinking when they handed him the instructions on how to make the ammunition. Even though they all got captured now, Rick still knows they still know how to make the ammunition. But even if the Saviors do raid the town, I doubt very seriously the way they're going to take the casing. So with the little bit of guns that they're probably going to have hidden and be able to, they're still going to have plenty of ammunition for that once they make them.
Yeah. Oh, it's kind of
like their brass or anything. I don't know where they're going to get the brass to do that. But it's a good idea.
It's not lead. They're doing lead, not brass.
Yeah, but they got to put it in something.
That's all the brass casings, or the casings they all collect.
Yeah, inside Alexandria, I think that all they had to do is just go pick them up.
Yeah. And do you think like all the Saviors gonna pick up every single casing? Like, yep, but that's half. Here, I'm gonna take this. Do you really think they're gonna just pick up a whole bunch of casings?
I figure they're.
Yeah, I don't think they're thinking about that yet.
I think they're just gonna see it. They'll be like, oh heck, they were just cleaning up the town here because it's a real pretty little town. They're not gonna think anything about it. These people know how to actually build ammunition.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think they're gonna do it like monthly, kind of like what they do with the Hilltop. Like give them half of what they usually have. And I just thought of this since the hilltop, it didn't seem like it had much, especially since Rick and the group got hacked to kill the saviors. I think they probably hiding all their stuff as well in other places. That's why it didn't seem like they had a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Because you said that the hilltop group is supposed to be housing like 200 people.
Yeah.
But what the film was big enough maybe for 20 or 30 comfortable.
I think that big whole house, like people live in as well, or that little museum or whatever.
Yeah, but the way it was fenced in and everything didn't look like there was enough room to grow through there.
Yeah.
And I'd hate to go out into the, outside and have to walk through, 10-foot tall wheat with walkers walking around.
Oh. Don't go to the grass. Quote from the last world. There's a card. Just as bad.
All right, and the next thing we see is Carl's clearing the way. He takes out that walker with the tree limb in him. They're carrying Maggie on a stretcher, and they start to hear those whistles. And I don't know if they've heard the whistles before, but we know that Daryl heard them, Glenn and Michonne has heard them, and then Rick knows to run. So he takes off with Maggie and the rest of the group, and the whistles are kind of guiding them to where they want them to go. And then when they hit that circle and the lights come up and everybody whistles, that was just freaky.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're here, we got you, you're done. What y'all think?
That's kind of what I've been saying the whole time. Rick's group is supposed to be so good at this, and they're actually really good at staying alive and fighting and everything. Why do they keep running up getting captured?
I think they just
And then they
don't
pan
know.
around and you see the Winnebago and you see Eugene on his knees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now seriously, now we understand how Eugene gets captured every single time. He's Eugene. But you got people like Daryl and Rick supposed to be seasoned at this thing.
Well,
Being captured.
well, Dwight has the same skill set as Daryl. So that's why he got the jump on him.
Yeah, but it's what I'm getting at is, okay, like you was talking a minute ago, in Terminus, they let them herd them to the spot they wanted. In this one, they let them herd them to the spot they wanted them.
Yeah.
At some point, you think the group would stop and say, look, next time this happens, let's not go the way they're trying to make us. Let's find our way out of this.
They did do that. They did try, because they lit off the RV with Eugene, just to think that they're hurting them somewhere else. But when they caught Eugene, they just found one person, and then they came up with a better plan where they ended at. I think it's like they always know where the group is or something.
Yeah,
They have like
that's
full
what I
eyes on them.
think. Okay. And then we see the Savior, disarm them, get them on their knees and disarm them, and then they see that gun that Carl has with the bat with the barbed wire on it. And I think that just irritates them a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then he's just playing with them. I hate to say this, but I love Negan. He's just so charismatic and just, all right, one of you are going to die, and this is why you're going to die. It's black and white with him. You did this to me, so I'm going to do this to you and your group. I love that. When Dwight went and got Daryl and the rest of them, you could just see, Rick goes into that. I hate that zombie stare that he gets, like where he's just totally crushed. I can't stand it. Like something went wrong in his brain. So, comments?
I think he needs to be more buff. Negan does.
Who?
Negan.
Yeah, he's a lot. He looks a lot bigger, don't he?
Yeah, it's like this one person, Henry Rollins, would have been a really good Negan, and it looks pretty much like him. Let's see if I can what. He's like some musician. He looks pretty much like Negan in the comics.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
So, and plus he's much buffer than. But I don't think he had enough time to build up a buff body.
He is buff. I know who that is, and he's older than he looks. I mean, he's a give all rocker.
Yeah.
You know, I can't remember who he plays for right now, but he's a good guy. Mm. All right, and then Negan tries to explain the New World Order, and we know what the New World Order is. That his New World Order is all about him.
And his new
You don't mess. What?
his new world order is bite, chew, swallow, repeat.
Yeah. You don't mess with the New World Order, he says. The New World Order is simple. Give me your shit, or I will kill you. And he says that was their career day. They got the down and dirty skeleton of what their belief is. Their job is to give him their shit, and if it's not enough, you make it, you find it, or you steal it, and everything will eventually even out. And then that's when he introduces them to Lucille, and he does that eeny, meeny, miny, mo thing.
Yeah.
So that was intense. So we don't know who we got, but we know we got somebody.
Yeah. I think it just. There you go, Tom.
No, go ahead.
I think it just leaves off the suspense or the excitement of someone dying because, well, all the comic readers know that someone dies, but once they do kill off someone and then they like do it again, it's kind of like what they did with the mid-season finale with the first clip of the mid-half
Glenn?
on that.
Yeah.
Or with Daryl, Sasha, and Abraham in that one truck.
Mhm.
Kind of like that at the moment.
Well, he didn't say. I mean, he did say, "Hang on to Rick," and if his kid, I don't know if they act out, feed Rick Carl's eye. So we know it's not Carl or Rick. So it's got to be somebody else in the group. Unless they're just messing with us and it is Rick. Because that would totally change the dynamic of the group.
Nah, I don't think they can kill off Rick because he's the lead character in the entire series.
Well, that doesn't matter. I mean, look, they kill lead characters off all the time.
Well, yeah, but those are just secondary characters to Rick. I mean, you kill off Rick, I mean, he is the main character in the entire series.
It's just, I think it's like they started the show because of the comic, and people wanted to see the comic in real life, or what it will look like, just playing out. And I don't think they're gonna kill off Rick until they kill off Rick in the comics, which is getting pretty close in the comics already. Killing off Rick. Then Carl would take over.
I heard that the comics are up to 150. Is that right, or is it way more than that?
I think it's way more than that.
Maybe 500?
No, maybe 200 to 300, maybe around there. Because they're in Compendium 3 already, and each one has around almost 100 issues.
Okay. The guy, the creator, said that he introduced Negan on the 100th comic because, at that point, I've read 100 comics, I'm done with this, and he did it to keep people coming back to his comics. So we know this was 100.
Yeah. This goes with the show as well. I think it kind of ruined the moment for people to go back to the show. But since they didn't show who died, I think they could just leave a lot of people out, just saying not to watch it again.
Yeah, and Chandler Riggs, he's been texted into the Talking Dead, and he said he read that script like 6 or 8 months ago, and he still doesn't know who died.
Yeah.
But I kind of think it's Eugene. I'm leaning towards Eugene.
I kind of wanted to be one of the Atlanta Five. So either Daryl or Glenn.
Yeah.
But then some people, it could be Abraham.
Yeah, because there ain't but 5 or 6 of the originals left.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Abraham because Abraham's the one that volunteered. Whenever he got up and choose me, you can kill me. And then I think if he was going to kill Glenn, they would have killed him whenever he had that outburst, whenever he went after Maggie. And Negan, does he kill injured people? Because in the comics, it's women and injured people that he doesn't kill, right?
Yeah, like women, children, and injured.
Oh, so
Daryl shot.
Daryl shot.
Maggie and Sasha and Rosita, they're out.
But they could.
So now we got Rick and Carl and Eugene.
And Glenn.
Oh, and Aaron's there.
But I don't think that'll be a good enough effect of why people should hate Negan. Or hate the love. Love to hate.
Yeah, I don't see him killing Aaron because Aaron's not a real big cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they go for that tertiary character that nobody really cares about, they left you hanging until October, and you come back and it's all right, all good, because I'm gonna be mad if it's Daryl.
But
I really don't care.
Wounded.
Yeah.
Even has his cold, no wounded and no women, so he's in Daryl.
It might as well be.
So if he goes by his code, it's Aaron or Eugene.
Or Glenn.
Because, well, see, I think he would have already got Glenn for that outburst.
Nah,
And
I
I
think
think
that. I don't think you would.
Spoiler.
No, he's got to finish scaring them. The scaring part is the itty, meeny, miny, mo thing. Shows him that he's being fair about who he's going to kill. He's going to be random.
Yeah, and he didn't do it in any particular order, which really irritated me because I was like, oh, and they're not even kneeling in that order.
Oh no, they did that on purpose so that you couldn't figure out which one he was going to kill.
Yeah. They just put random shots. Wasn't who he was just pointing at exactly at the time.
Yeah, I watched Talking Dead afterwards, and they said that they did that.
But there's like a picture of the whole group just on their knees somewhere. But what if you just do the itty bitty miny mo thing, and I get around Glenn and Rosita type of area. So I think it could be Glenn, but I don't think they should do Rosita at all or something like that.
Yeah, keep Rosalita.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to know until October. And with that, Tommy, it's 4 minutes after 9.
Wow, we ran over.
Oh.
We
Uh-oh.
don't have a mouse to cut us off.
And we did it without Mouse, as stumbly as it is.
Yeah.
We're sorry Mouse wasn't here. Next time we're going to slap her and make sure that she understands that the company has to go.
Yeah. Kick him out.
Wait. No slapping. Sorry, Mouse, we're not going to slap you.
Uh-oh.
We're just going to fine you real big. You owe us a...
We're going to get a mouse trap. That's what we're going to do.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
One of those humane mouse traps and put her in it. Okay, don't tell her I said that. Maybe she won't watch it.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.